to all the women in the world, especially her. You know it don't even matter your age, don't even matter your color. Your fellas, I ain't forget about y'all. This is for everybody that like to dance. Just listen to what I'm saying and do it and take a chance. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. Just get on the floor like I said before. Y'all remember that down low? Just put a little dip with it. Now roll those hips with it. Pop it, push it, rock it, roll it. Can't control it, I come hold it. It's all in fun, so take a chance. Just get on the floor and do that dance, y'all. I know you like it, so don't try to fight it. Turn around, baby, let me see you from the back. Yeah, I like it like that. Get up now, roll those hips. Drop down, double up on those dips. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. Back again with the second verse. It's all clean, so I'm not gonna curse. Drop a bass like a bad habit. Love all women, cause I gotta have it. Coming at y'all in stereo. I'm riding that thing like a rodeo. Hang on, baby, cause the ride is rough, and I got my girls in the front. Now and later, just bumping that rump. Raise it up, let me see that brown. Slap it, girl, make it jiggle around. Round and round that rump goes. Where it stop, yo, no one knows, yeah. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind.
Well, all right, y'all. All right, y'all. If you ain't dipping, then you must be tripping. If you ain't doing it down low, gots to go. Gots to go. To the people that moving slow, to the dance floor. Yo, DJ, pump it up some more.
It's off to the show in a limo. Before the show, I gotta get that dough. Pay them girls what they worth. Slip that money under that skirt. Take it out, baby, let me see. You might get a little more Lucci. G-string, having oh so much fun. Playing inside between them buns. Shorty got it going on like Margaret. Teasing me and she know I'm starving. Lick you up, then lick you down. I ain't finished, girl, turn around. Lick you up and down your back, cause I'm that freak, I'm freaky like that. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. I'm setting it off to another level. You digging freak nasty without a shovel. This is my world. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. So what's up, yo DJ? When the party's getting slow, drawing this jam and watch that flow get taken over like a 94. When I had the whole world getting down low. New Orleans born, ATL living. Freak nasty is what I'm giving. My juice is sweet like Georgia peaches. Women suck it up like leeches. It feels so good, you must admit you like this. Yeah, y'all know the song. So come on, won't you sing it? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
All right, Chad, how we doing tonight? How's everybody doing? Oh, fuck yeah, man. As we enter week two of this fucking amazing ride. Chad, you understand, I'm looking at the clock right now. It is 9:15 here on the East Coast, which is, of course, the most important time zone on the most important planet in the most important galaxy, as we all know. All right. Eastern time zone, that is actually, like, heaven is actually on Eastern time zone. I don't know if you knew that. That's God's time zone. The only time zone that matters. In the only country that matters. So here, on the Eastern time zone, it is currently 9:15. We are exactly 1 week, 9 hours and 15 minutes, and some change, and some seconds into this fucking ride. And Trump's already done more than the fucking Republican Party has done in the last 50 fucking years. Certainly more good things. I mean, I guess there was other things in the last 50 years, like the Patriot Act and the Iraq War, first and second one. You know, oh shit. I mean, even Reagan. Oh, everyone loves Reagan. Oh yeah, you got rid of machine guns. Like, close the insane asylums. Mr. Small Government Reagan, one of the last things he did in office was have lunatics like James Dobson, like, have a big fucking committee on how to outlaw porn. Thankfully, that didn't go anywhere, but... Oh, my gosh. So, we got a super chat. And by the way, people, you need to send more super chats. I need more super chats, okay? But we got a good size one right here. We're going to play it again. If will go. Thought I clicked it.
Have you heard of Jesus?
Okay. SAR tips $111.11 and says, hola. Well, thank you very much for that, SAR. But we do need more super chats, though, because I am an unemployed bum. And we need more. I am supposed to get unemployment this week. Finally. And I'm amazed at how low it was. My God. I knew it's not like what you earned, but geez. Maybe it's just that low because I'm a white man. I don't know. A white man, I'm straight. I should have told him I had pronouns or something. Well, I guess I can't now. That gravy train's over. Oh my gosh. Blue Team says the Latinx aren't going outside right now. If you don't like them, go outside and enjoy the quiet. Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of things out of California. Oh my God, look. There's not nearly the wait at the fucking emergency room there used to be. Oh look, Walmart isn't trashed all the time. It's fucking great, chat. Fucking awesome. I have been having a blast. Did y'all see, and you probably didn't because nobody watches these anymore, but you might have seen clips. Did you see J.D. Vance on the CBS Sunday morning show? For you Zoomers in the audience in particular, the Sunday morning shows for politics in this country used to be a really big deal. The four networks did them, including Fox, and probably the big ones, at least in the 90s and 2000s, were Fox News Sunday and what's the NBC one? Meet the Press. And those got really big because those channels also had cable news equivalents, MSNBC and Fox News, obviously. So those got rerun a couple times throughout the day. The ABC and the CBS one really didn't. Some local stations might rerun it in the middle of the afternoon or something Sunday. Generally, they just aired Sunday morning, and that was it. So J.D. Vance went on one of the... I don't know what the ratings are currently, but I can't imagine CBS this morning, whatever the fuck they're... I think Face the Nation it's called. I can't imagine their ratings are particularly good. But he went on there and made a fool of this lady. A fucking fool of her. And he did it in such a way that was just... Chat, everything we're doing right now, we could have done this like 50 fucking years ago. You understand this? We could have done this certainly 10, 20 years ago. Certainly the W administration, if they actually wanted to fix the country instead of, wage wars for no fucking reason and murder lots of people, they could have done all this kind of shit. Anybody could have at any point, essentially. It's apparently just as simple as we just say no. Let's bring this up. We're going to watch this. This is quality content, folks. We need some super chats, by the way. All right, so this is J.D. Vance on Face the Nation. Down in Warland says, yes, all of that could have been done. There's no reason we couldn't have, okay? You know, Republicans, instead of whining about abortion and waging wars for Israel and trying to outlaw porn and all the other dumb shit you get in your fucking heads, you could have been doing this instead. You could have been fixing real fucking problems for real people. You always could have been doing that. You could have just gotten rid of the illegals. You could have just sent them home. Hell, if it were up to me with these illegals, we'd just send back their heads. But, you know, we'll have a more moderate position where we send them back alive and well, I guess. If you want to not... Like, look, all these countries complain, like, not letting us land. Like, at this point, I just say, you know what? They just push the illegals out of the fucking plane over those countries next time they pull that shit. Here you go, fuckers. Because guess what? They're all trash anyways. These countries, there's a reason they don't want them back. Because they sent us their worst. Okay, they emptied their prisons and their insane asylums out on our fucking borders. So yeah, next time they don't let them land, say, well, that's not necessary. Get one of the big fucking cargo planes like the military has. Some Operation Dumbo Drop shit. And I didn't say give them parachutes. If you want to be nice, fine. As far as I'm concerned, that part's optional. Here you go. You're taking them back one way or another. In fact, you know what? Next time you give us shit Colombia or Mexico or Venezuela, next time, you know what we're going to do? We're going to drop them. We're going to parachute. We're going to give each one of them a gun. And we're going to parachute them into your back into your fucking country. And say, here you go. Take over the place, bro. We fucking care. Just don't come back to us. But that, I don't know. I'm a little bit more extreme in that than some people. See, but when I propose just send back their heads, and that makes Trump seem moderate with his plan. Or maybe don't send them back at all. Maybe ground them up into a fine paste and spread them as fertilizer on a field. I don't know. Who gives a shit? They're just not supposed to be here. And that's the thing. We never needed a reason to get rid of them. You understand that? They have no right to be here. We owe them nothing. It is entirely our prerogative to decide who, if ever, enters this country for any reason, how long they can stay. That is entirely our fucking prerogative. And it always has been. They're not American. Don't tell me they have constitutional rights, because they fucking don't. You could argue morally they have legal rights, or I should say human rights, but they don't have any fucking human rights to be here. They don't have constitutional rights. The Constitution is a fucking covenant between the American people and its government. One the government routinely fucking ignores anyways. So if they're going to ignore it with us, why should it fucking apply to them of all people? But it doesn't apply to them. It doesn't. In no fucking way, shape, or form. Well, they have due process rights. Do they? Do they? Or do they have whatever privileges we are so kind as to bestow upon them while they are trespassing in our sovereign fucking nation? I think the latter. So let's hear this fucking pantsuit over here argue advance.
Let me ask you about another area that you campaigned on quite a lot, and there was a flurry of activity on, and that has to do with immigration.
Sure.
The U.S. Conference of...
Look at this. Can we get back a second here? Look at smug look at his face. He treats this interview like he's like he went into an elementary school or a fucking middle school and a 13-year-old girl that's mad that her dad didn't let her get her ears pierced. and wants to be a journalist one day is fucking interview him. That is the smug, condescending look he has on his fucking face with her. And I love it. I fucking love it, chat. And she knows it. She sees it. And it's pissing her off immensely, I assure you. She is not happy with this. She was not happy with this exchange in the moment. And a day plus later, she is still very much not happy with this exchange.
Sure. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops this week condemned some of the executive orders.
Once again, reminder, the Know Nothing Party did nothing wrong.
Signed by President Trump, specifically those allowing immigration and customs enforcement to enter churches and to enter schools. Do you personally support the idea of conducting a raid or enforcement action in a church service, at a school?
I'm going to answer real quick for him. Yes. I am comfortable with the government having raids on any establishment that is harboring fugitives. And look, I'm not exactly a thin blue line law and order motherfucker. But we do have laws, and they are supposed to be enforced. And if you're harboring a fugitive, if you are knowingly, willingly harboring a fugitive, and you are not allowing the authorities inside, well, I'm very, very comfortable with you having to buy a new fucking door. I am 100% comfortable with that, Chad. I don't know about you. That's just me. And I don't care if it's a school. I don't care if it's a church. I don't care what it is. You're not going to harbor fugitives. And if you are, then you're going to get your fucking door kicked down. How about that? If you're going to harbor fugitives, you better be in a fucking castle, because we're coming.
School?
Well, let me address this. Of course, if you have a person who is convicted of a violent crime, whether they're an illegal immigrant or a non-illegal immigrant, you have to go and get that.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, by the way. As of right now, and this is, I don't believe, going to be permanent, but as of right now, ICE is focusing on the worst of the worst. They're getting violent criminals. They're getting fucking pedophiles in one case. Being fucking interviewed by Dr. Phil of all fucking people. Maybe we'll bring that clip up here. But that's what they're starting with. Now, by the way, that's not all they're doing. You know, there's been cases where, like, they go into a fucking, apartment complex because, Enrique here fucking stabbed 30 people and he wasn't supposed to be in this country to begin with, and they pick him up, and hey, it turns out he was hanging out with a bunch of other people that hadn't really done anything other than being here illegal, but they were here illegally, so they're getting picked up too. Maybe next time don't come in this country illegally, or if you do, maybe don't hang out with the guy that stabbed people. What's the old saying? Don't break the law while you're breaking the law. When you're breaking one law, don't break other laws to bring more fucking attention to yourself. I don't know. That would just be my advice.
Person to protect the public safety. That's not unique to immigration. But let me just address this particular issue, Margaret, because as a practicing Catholic, I was actually heartbroken by that statement. And I think that the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops needs to actually look in the mirror a little bit and recognize that when they receive over $100 million to help resettle illegal immigrants, are they worried about humanitarian concerns, or are they actually worried about their bottom line? We are going to enforce immigration law. We're going to protect the American people.
Yeah.
Donald Trump promised to do that. And I believe the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, if they're worried about the humanitarian costs of immigration enforcement, let them talk about the children who have been sex trafficked because of the wide open border of Joe Biden.
You personally
let them talk
support them
about
going into
people like
schools
Laken
and
Riley
churches.
who were brutally murdered. I support us doing law enforcement against violent criminals, whether they're illegal immigrants or anybody else, in a way that keeps us safe. Let me ask this question,
But
Margaret. Let's separate the
Everybody keeps calling her Margaret. I mean, It's just one notch above like Bill Murray in Ghostbusters 2. Be like, Kitten, I think what I'm saying. Like, there's something about that really throws her off. Margaret, let me ask you, why are you so full of shit?
Immigration issue. If you had a violent murderer in a school, of course I want law enforcement to go and get that person out.
Of course.
So what's the point of the question?
Of course. You're not supposed to be doing that, sweetie. You were supposed to get him, okay? Right there. That right there, sweetie, by the way, that's something I bet your boss talked to you about, didn't he? No. You weren't supposed to say, of course you're right. I'm sorry. Absolutely, you're right. Let's keep doing this. You were actually supposed to do the opposite. And he walked you right into, yeah, actually, you're right.
You changed the regulation this week. That's the point of the question.
Exactly.
Giving the authority
Yes.
to go in.
You changed the regulation. Yeah, we did. We changed it to something that's not retarded. You're welcome.
To churches
Exactly.
and going to schools.
We empowered law enforcement to enforce
But
the
that
law.
also-
Exactly, Margaret. We decided, fuck them. We're sick of them pulling this shit. And if you're harboring illegals, especially ones that have killed and raped people, we're gonna come fucking get them. And this isn't Castlevania rules. You don't get to run into a church and claim sanctuary. That's not how the fuck this works. We're gonna come get you. We're not vampires. We're not afraid to go into the church. We're gonna come fucking get you.
Everywhere
has a
to protect
knock-on
Americans.
effect, a chilling effect, arguably, to people to not send their kids to school.
Good. I don't want the illegals to send their kids to school. I don't want them to be here to send their kids to school in the first fucking place. But I don't want them to go to school. If I had a kid, first of all, I wouldn't send them to fucking public school. But if by chance I did, I wouldn't want him to have to sit next to little fucking Juan, who doesn't speak a goddamn word of English, and is probably gonna steal his fucking lunch money. I wouldn't really want that. Okay? So yeah, I hope it stops illegals from sending their kids to public school. I absolutely, yeah. And this would have a chilling effect on illegal immigration. God fucking willing. That's kind of the fucking point. What did you think we were doing this for? Did you think the ICE agents just needed some fucking exercise? No. We were like, these people aren't supposed to fucking be here. We're going to get them out of here. Wolfland says the school report was fake news, apparently. I'm sorry that it is. I hope they are. I don't care. I don't care if it's little fucking Dora in elementary school singing the map song. I want a fucking door kicked in, and I want her dragged the fuck out of kindergarten. Enough. They need to go. WF Jacoby says Catholics have Saturday night mass. Night owls are missing out. There are some of the bigger churches, that evangelical churches and Protestant churches, that do Saturday night service too. I've been looking into that because I want to start going to Saturday night service. Because let's be real, I'm not doing Sunday. Even when I tried my damnedest, no pun intended, I was never able to keep a consistent schedule going to church Sunday morning. Because 9 in the morning to me is like fucking 4 in the morning to a normal person, okay? Like, it's just, no, I don't, it's a day of rest. I'm not getting up after fucking 5 hours of sleep. 4 hours of sleep, usually. Because I gotta get up at 8 for the 9 a.m. service, get ready and shit. So yeah, I'm not doing that. I usually fall asleep at 4. That's my night owl schedule. Sorry to tell you, it's just how I am. And I know you morning people like to be, that's unnatural. No, it's not, okay? Some people just have a different rhythm than you, okay? Guess what? In the ancient world, people like me that were night owls, we sat on the wall so that you lazy ass morning people could go to sleep and not get your throat slit in the middle of the night, all right? You're welcome. Early to bed, early to rise people are the weakest race. And they will not survive the winter. By the way, chat, I think this is good quality content. I think we should get more super chats. I don't know about you. I think we should get more super chats.
I really hope it has a chilling
In the
effect on
churches,
illegal
you think
immigrants
the
coming
U.S.
into our
conference
country.
I love that. I really hope it has a chilling effect. Yeah, that was the intention. Thank you for the compliment, pantsuit.
Catholic bishops are actively hiding criminals from
I think the U.S.
law
Conference of
Well,
Catholic...
yes, they are. But enough about their fellow bishops. Yes, they are actively hiding pedophiles. We've been over this for a few decades now. But also, they are sheltering illegals. They're also doing that, which is also bad. Frankly, I'd like to put a stop to both of those things. But one thing at a time. We're kind of on the illegal thing right now, so we'll worry about that. Honest to God, by the letter of the law, the Catholic Church in America should be dismantled under RICO.
Catholic bishops has frankly not been a good partner in common sense immigration enforcement that the American people voted for. And I hope, again, as a devout Catholic, that they'll do better.
There are 5 legal challenges already to one of the other immigration actions, the order on birthright citizenship. A federal judge appointed by Ronald Reagan, I think you'd agree.
Fuck Ronald Reagan. How about that? I agree with that. Are we agreeing with it? You're a lefty, so
Have
you
you
probably
heard
hate
of
him too.
Jesus?
So how about that? Fuck Ronald Reagan. Do we agree on that? Holy crap. Okay. I wasn't thinking that much, but I'm not going to turn it down. More super chats. Has once again tipped $111.11. Thank you very much for that. Oh my God. Wolfland says you should pay us to watch. Fuck that, man. This is good quality content, okay? You don't get to say, look, what else are you going to watch right now? You can go watch Merch complain about how much he fucking lost in Vegas? Like, God, good God. Merch, on the off chance you should hear this, I like you. I mean, I don't know you personally, but from what I've seen, I like you. You know, I like that you save cats. Revenge of the Sis, very funny show. You have a gambling problem. I know. Oh, you shouldn't say. Merch should be like, you shouldn't say that, Chris. It's gay to be concerned about a person on the internet. I'm sorry. You're a fellow human being. And the reality is, you have a gambling problem, and you would be better off stopping. Look, I get it. I have problems, okay? I buy way too much dumb nerd shit, okay? Do you mean action figures are on bookshelves and shit in this house? Too fucking many is how many. And I'm probably going to buy more. So, I get it. We all have our vices. Look, I've been led down paths by my pack. My dick has led me down paths I wouldn't... A sane man wouldn't go down with a gun. Okay? So, I get it. I get it, man. I'm not throwing stones. I'm just saying in the off chance you should hear this, Mersh, you got a problem. That's what I'm saying. We all got our problems, but maybe face it and deal with it, okay?
Has some conservative credentials.
Sure.
Paused the order to end birthright citizenship, calling it blatantly unconstitutional. How do you reconcile this challenge to the 14th Amendment to the Constitution?
So I obviously disagree with that judge, and these things, some of them will be litigated. That's the nature of our constitutional system. But here's the basic idea of President Trump's view on this. If you are a lawful permanent resident or a legal immigrant who plans to stay, your children, of course, should become American citizens. But let's say you're the child of an ambassador. You don't become...
But that's not part of it.
Well, that
There's
is
already
that
part
is
about
that is
having
an
to deal
important
with kids.
principle.
It is actually. Now, okay, an embassy is foreign ground. So if if you're the child of an ambassador and you're born on the fucking embassy, then that wouldn't count. But if he goes to an American hospital, then yes, he would. By the way the law is structured right now, that child would be viable for birthright citizenship. If you pop out of your mother's fucking cunt on American soil, as the law is right now, all right? If you exit your mother's fucking pussy on American soil, and I don't mean in the way that Christian did a year or so ago. I mean, when you're born, then you're a fucking American as the law stands right now, and I don't think that's a particularly good standard. The point of that was to grant citizenship to freed slaves who had, at best, questionable fucking legal status. But I don't know if you knew this, chat, that was a long fucking time ago. And I kind of feel like that's outlived its usefulness. Now, can you really change that law without changing the amendment? I don't know, man. I hope they do. Let me put it that fucking way. But if I was a judge in the Supreme Court, and I'm really being fucking honest about this, and looking to do the right thing, not the expedient thing, I would probably strike it down if I'm fucking being honest with you. Now, that said, though, let's be real. It ain't like the fucking court gives much of a shit about the Constitution in the first fucking place. So they might, who knows what the fuck they'll do. And I would be quite happy with it being struck down. But it probably is an overstep if we're fucking being honest. Okay? It is probably an issue that needs to be decided with another amendment. That said, though, we're getting this conversation started, and we should have an amendment that undoes that. That amendment should be amended. That amendment should be ratified. So we should fix it. I think it probably has to be done with an amendment, but I like the fact that we're now having the conversation. We weren't seriously having that conversation ever for quite some fucking time. And now we are. So good. This is good quality content, folks. We should get more super chats.
Of diplomats.
But we're saying that carve-out should apply to anybody who doesn't plan to stay here. If you come here on vacation and you have a baby in an American hospital, that baby doesn't become an American citizen. If you're an illegal alien and you come here temporarily, hopefully, your child does not become an American citizen by virtue of just having been born on American soil. It's a very basic principle in American immigration law that if you want to become an American citizen and you've done it the right way, and the American people in their collective wisdom have welcomed you into our national community, then you become a citizen. But temporary residents, people who come in here, whether legally or illegally, and don't plan to stay, their children shouldn't become American citizens. I don't know any country that does that or why we would be different.
Well, this is a country founded by immigrants.
Well, this is a country founded by...
country.
This is a very unique country, and it was founded by some immigrants and some settlers, but just because we were founded by immigrants doesn't mean that 240 years later that we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world. No country...
I didn't necessarily have anything to add. Fucking A. Yeah, first of all, this country was founded by settlers, all right? There wasn't a country already built here when we got here. And don't say the fucking Native Americans, okay? Because first of all, most of them had fuck all right? And fucking half of them had mud huts at best. Second of all, the Pilgrims. This is something that doesn't get told by leftists in the fucking Thanksgiving story. There's a lot of ways I fucking disagree with the Pilgrims philosophically and theologically, but one thing I think they were spot the fuck on about is they believed very firmly in property rights. And when they did take land from the natives, they took it by buying it. They traded and bartered for it. The most famous example is that, Manhattan was sold for $23 or something like that. And look, Indians, Native Americans, I love you, but if you got seller's remorse, they ain't my fucking problem. All right? Now, the American government, when it comes to the West Coast, they got pretty fucking greedy. They got a little grabby with shit, okay? Some shit was done that shouldn't have been fucking done. And amends have been made. Let's be fucking real. Amends have been made about that. Let's all move the fuck on. All right? And as for the immigrants that came here and made this country better, I don't even know if that's fucking true. We had a big wave of Europeans at the turn of the last century. And I think a lot of them maybe shouldn't have fucking came here. Again, I think the Know Nothing Party did nothing wrong. I think this is a country that was founded and built on Protestant ethics. And I'm not entirely sure the Catholics really fucking had a great deal of a place at this table. I'm not entirely sure how much they've really fucking contributed, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. But that's neither here nor there, because at least those fucking immigrants came here and assimilated. They came here to be fucking Americans. And the guy that comes here fucking illegally and has been here for some of these Hispanics in particular, and a lot of the fucking Chinese have been here and don't speak a word of English when they've been here for 20, 30 fucking years. That's not an American. Not in any meaningful sense of the word. If you haven't at least fucking learned English. The first and most basic act of assimilation. Then maybe legally you became an American, but in no meaningful sense beyond that, did you? Wolfland says some tribes joined the settlers and lived with them and got absorbed in that society, but you won't hear anything about that. No. Again, man, look, people clash, shit happen on both sides probably, but the reality is you really can't fault. The East Coast was not stolen from the Native Americans. You can argue sections of the West Coast were. Fine. Guess what? Shit happens. Amends have been made. Move the fuck on. You know, what people group on this planet does not have sins in their bloodline, does not have blood in their history. Terrible, horrible things in their history. Who doesn't? I don't know if you knew this, chat, but murdering and enslaving and raping and pillaging were pretty fucking common things for most of our species' history. It ain't like the fucking native tribes, by the way. We're all singing Kumbaya by the fire and smoking peace pipe all the time. They were actually butchering and killing and raping and pillaging each other. And before any of the Wignats in the chat get all uppity, let's not act like that wasn't also the history of Europe. Like Europe, like all the nations of Europe 1,000 years ago, all kumbaya and sang by the fire. Let's be fucking real, all right? Every time some lefty like cunt is like, that was built with slaves or something like that, it's like, no shit. No shit. Most everything was built by slaves for most of human history. Be very thankful you happen to be in the 99% of our species history, or the 1%, of our species history, the less than 1% of our species history, where that's not fucking common. Guess what? That shit happens still in this world, in some of the less fucking civilized parts of this world. And it sucks, and it shouldn't, and we've made great progress in not doing that anymore, to our fucking credit, but it is what it is. America has no unique crimes. Tell you what, though, we got some unique accomplishments. That flag on the moon, it ain't fucking Japanese, Chinese, it ain't Mexican, it ain't Canadian, it ain't German, it ain't French, it ain't British, it ain't Australian, it ain't Korean, it ain't any of those other fucking nations. It's fucking American. And all you morons with your conspiracy theory, guess what? The moon landing is fake shit. is something that's propagated by the deep state because they don't want us to acknowledge the fact that we used to do great things. Okay? Well, why didn't we go back? I don't know. Probably the same reason we can't build bridges that last anymore. Because we've lost a lot of that cool shit. Let's get it back. We've lost that cool spark in us. We're getting it back now. I feel like we're getting it back now. I don't know about you, Chad, but I feel a vibe change in the air that I've only felt two politically that were even comparable, and they weren't to this extent. The first was Gamergate. I know. Fucking get them whores out of video games. But that first week in Gamergate, that first weekend when that story broke, I remember writing on my blog and even saying to some of my friends that were following me, I'm like, this time feels different, doesn't it? This feels like this has legs. This feels like you feel in the air, like a vibe change, like an air pressure change. You just feel it. Like, oh man, I think things just shifted. And it came and went. It didn't really accomplish a great fucking deal when you come right down to it. But it was the first time these fucking commies felt some real fucking pushback culturally in a very long time. And then right on the heels of that was Trump. And I felt that early on, to my credit. If you're a longtime listener of this, you remember. A decade now, back in 2015, when he came down that escalator. My initial appraisal was he would kill it in the general election, but I didn't think he'd get through the primary, because the Republicans are cucks. And then that first debate, that first question, indeed, in that first debate, I said, oh, he just won this debate, and probably the nomination, and probably the presidency, right then and there. And that was a vibe shift. But not like now. This election and this presidency feels like a vibe shift like I have never seen. It feels bigger than the other two previous ones put together. Like, we've had enough. We're not tolerating anymore. Thomas Crown says, people like Neil Young created the myth that the tribes were peaceful before the Europeans came, and Cortez the killer, Neil Young said, saying, hate was just a legend, war was never known. Yeah, that's horseshit, man. Like, nah. I don't even know any Native Americans that would say that. No, they were at each other's throats. Everybody was at each other's throats all the fucking time. Welcome to human history. Alright? People generally didn't get the fuck along well. I'll tell you what, chat. Those were the two big moments in this thing. Yeah, I feel a shift, man. I feel like we've gotten our balls back. I feel like we've had enough. Oh shit! I actually forgot I wanted to. No, that isn't the big thing. We forgot about the real cherry on top. We'll play. Hang on. For a second, I was thinking we already got to it. Okay.
Says that temporary visitors, their children, will be given complete access to the benefits and blessings of American citizenship. America should actually look out for the interests of our citizens first. And that means, again, if you're here permanently and lawfully, your kid becomes an American citizen. If you're not here permanently, if you're not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States and don't plan to be, why would we make those people's children American citizens permanently?
I want to ask you about refugee admissions, which were just suspended by the president. That has nothing to do with the U.S. border. Refugee screening takes 18 to 24 months to go through. They are heavily vetted. Left literally at the airport this week were thousands of Afghans, some of whom had worked with the United States government and were promised to come here. When you talked to us in August, you said, I don't think we should abandon
the last guy made that promise. And I don't know if you noticed, He ain't here no more.
Anybody who's been properly vetted and helped us. Do you stand by that?
Well, Margaret, I don't agree that all these immigrants or all these refugees have been properly vetted. In fact, we know that there are cases of people who allegedly were properly vetted and then were literally planning terrorist attacks on our country. That happened during the campaign, if you may remember. So clearly not all of these foreign nationals
But there are
have been properly
30,000
vetted.
people in the pipeline, Afghan refugees.
But my primary
Do you stand
concern
by it?
as the vice president, Margaret, is to look after the American people. And now that
So
we
no.
know that we have vetting problems with a lot of these refugee
Listeners, so now. Yeah, so no. What are you going to do about it? Why don't you swing from these nuts, bitch?
programs, we absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country.
These
It's
people are
not
vetted.
good.
These people are vetted.
Just like the guy
He just said, remember, yeah, he's going to say, just like that other guy.
who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted, and many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly, he wasn't. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not
He
properly.
keeps trying to interrupt him. But no. But what about no? But we get no. But how about no? No. This is the Dr. Evil with Scotty, like zip it, zip it good. Like he's just telling her to shush, and it's awesome.
properly vetted, and because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really
But-
care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and I think most of
I want to
No.
listen to that again. That was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized before he got here or after he got here. But Margaret, if it was after he got here, that's actually worse. That means if that means that we can't possibly vet them. That means that they could be super cool when they come here, and then for whatever reason, and maybe that's worth looking into too, suddenly they want to go Allah Akbar. So then what you just are saying is that we can't possibly vet them. So I guess they can't come in. And the Chitty Vance, I don't give a shit, bitch. Chad, did you ever think you would see the vice president having the stones to tell one of these fucking HR ladies at the Legacy Media, I don't care. Shove it up your ass. This is like the Kentucky Fried Movie bit where it's like, I've been listening to that horse shit of yours for years. And you can take that crap and blow it out your ass.
Oh, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really
But-
care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and I think most Americans agree with me.
I don't really care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country. And I think most Americans would agree with me. Oh my God. Chat. I want you to just savor it, okay? Can we take a moment and just... It's like eating a dessert at a fucking Michelin 5-star restaurant. You don't wolf it down. You take a minute and just savor it. You take a bite and you just let it wash over you. Hang on a second. Oh, God. Hang on. Some of you aren't as cultured as me, so you haven't seen Kentucky Fried Movie, and you should if you haven't.
Time.
If you haven't seen Kentucky Fried Movie, you absolutely should. Now, Kentucky Fried Movie is an interesting movie because it's a bunch of like newsreels and little fake trailers and shit, and then a movie, and then more little skits. The skits are amazing. The actual meat and potatoes of the movie, I think, is boring as hell. It's like a parody of kung fu movies. And I never liked it. But the skits before it are fucking hilarious. Shit's free on Tubi, by the way. But there's a skit in there where it's point counterpoint, and it's actually the conservative guy that makes a big like spiel, and then the leftist chick tells him to fuck off. But it's still just hilarious. And this was Vance. Hang on. Hang on, chat. Let's see. This was Vance's response.
Hi, John. You old stick in the mud. I've been listening to that horse shit of yours for months. And you can take that crap and blow it out your ass. And for good measure, sit on this, John.
Ah, good. Oh my gosh. Great stuff, man. Dashing Rogue says she's kind of cute like Milfy. I don't know, man. She ain't doing it for me, and I like bitchy women, so. I like bitchy MILFs, all right? Because I have deeply rooted mommy issues. And even I'm like, nah. Oh, my gosh, Chad. I'm having fun. I am glued to Twitter this week. I get up and I'm just scrolling Twitter, and I'm wasting too much time on it because it's like, oh, my God, what did he do now? This is amazing. This is what we were supposed to have 8 years ago. And Trump just wasn't serious then. He really was a dog chasing cars at that point. He's like, he didn't know what to do when he caught one. He's like, I didn't think I'd get this far. I don't know what the fuck to do now. Oh, man. Fucking fun. This is just fun. All right, you know what? I got one more thing I think we're going to watch. And then we'll call it a night. Unless I'm getting more super chats. I don't know. Let's see. I want to find the full thing. I think New York Post has it here.
TV personality Dr. Phil.
No, I want the actual footage. Don't yammer over it. The Indian Express of all fucking people. Do they have it? Oh, sorry, we have it.
Where you from?
Okay. So of all fucking people, Dr. Phil is deporting. I don't know what kind of top 10 anime crossover this is, but we got Dr. Phil. The ICE director is just assembling the Avengers, and he's got Dr. Phil of all fucking people to help us deport motherfuckers. This needs to be a show. Remember Cops? I want Cops, but with ICE. I want to every day watch new footage of an absolute garbage fucking third worlder who's raped and killed people, learning that it's time to go. It's time to go back to whatever shithole you're from. You know what? Send them all to Mexico. Let's not even sort them out. I say we send all of them to Mexico. And then Mexico has to figure it out from here. And Mexico's just like, some of these are Chinese people. You couldn't have possibly thought. It's like, too bad. You figure it out, fuckers. They're your problem now. Some of these are Canadian. I don't care. It's your problem now. All right. Let's watch Dr. Phil deport a fucking pedophile. I'm having so much fun, chat. Oh, let's get some more super chats. Let's get some super chats to celebrate Dr. Phil deporting a pedophile. Okay.
Where you from?
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where you born?
Thailand.
You been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported.
The Indian Express is just the best one I think we could find. Sir, you please to deport the pedophile, sir.
Show was seen accompanying ICE officers.
Sir, Dr. Phil is deporting you, sir. If you do not want to be deported, you must send $900 in Apple gift cards to Dr. Phil.
During a crackdown operation. This marks a major step in President Donald Trump's escalating deportation efforts. Dr. Phil, who had spoken at a Trump campaign event, took part in this operation on Sunday.
Come on, I want the actual footage.
He defended the administration's policies.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's right, Chad. The Iceman cometh. Okay, so, sir, Dr. Phil is deporting you, sir. All right, that's not what we want. Let's see. Chicago Post, maybe?
What's your name?
Okay, maybe this will work. We'll go with, I don't know why. It was a longer clip, so I thought maybe they had the whole video. But I don't know why I assumed the fucking Indian press there. Sir, you get deported by Dr. Phil. You watch too much Saved by the Bell, sir.
Jada.
Jada what? You have a first and last name.
Sam.
Jada Sam?
Yes.
Where you from?
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where you born?
Thailand.
A pedophile from Thailand. I'm shocked.
You been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported.
Bob.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
I've been in the system before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been charged with
Charge for
before?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna talk to my lawyer.
I talked to my lawyer. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm giving the Filipino guy the Mexican accent, but whatever. I don't care. Send them all back to Mexico. Mexico has to figure it out. You're not talking to a lawyer anymore, buddy. Ain't no lawyer. There's just a fucking ride home. But I have a constitutional right to a lawyer. No, sir. Sir, you do not understand. The Constitution applies to Americans, sir. Again, be thankful we're not just sending back your head. Because that would have been my idea.
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mom's a citizen.
Your mother's a citizen?
Yes.
But you're not?
Nope.
Oh, they didn't play the part where he said he was a pedophile. Okay, so he was arrested for sex crimes with children, with underage people. And Dr. Phil's like, you fucking kids? And he was like, he said kind of. It was like, you were arrested for sex crimes with children? He goes, kind of. Google Play cards will get you out, sir. Oh my gosh. This is fun, chat. I am having a fucking blast. This is the best presidency ever so far. And the best part is the left can't do shit. They don't have their shit together at all on this. Just today, the Senate Democrats did some resolution or some shit like that condemning the January 6 pardons, which doesn't even pass because they don't have the majority. But also, like, that was a week ago. That was the first thing he did. And you're just now reacting to it. And in the meantime, he's done like 350 executive orders. You're so behind the fucking 8 ball here. You need to get your shit together, guys. Well, he pardoned January 6th, guys. That was a week ago, motherfucker. We're on to other things right now. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Folks, if you enjoy the content I put out, and I don't know why you would because it is dog shit, but if you do, you can hit streamlabs.com/thebecklove, send a donation with a message while I'm not live, and I'll see it while I am live. Go ahead and read it. You can hit paypal.me/thebecklove. You put a little note there. If you want me to read it, fine. I'll only use your first name. It's fine. And you can click down below the Amazon wish list and buy me some dumb shit I like. That would be cool too. You know, to celebrate the deportation of a pedophile there. Back to Thailand. Which, as we all know, is the pedophile's homeland. We sent him to run free among his people. Cat says you got $200 and that's all we get. What do you want, man? That's all I wanted to talk about. I ain't got nothing else to talk about. I can play some more music. You want to hear more hits from 1997? I'd be happy to do that. We'll count down this week in 1997. How about that? But seriously. Yeah, Streamlabs, PayPal, Amazon wishlist down below. That's about it for tonight, folks. I want to